Alright guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead. So today, thought you'd give you a quick look at what we're doing with the garden, what's producing, little garden tour, and then also check out what all is going on in the kitchen today because Missy's at it full bore today. So let's go take a look. Alright, so Apollo's got a watchful eye, and Molly's like, you turned off my fan to film. But as you can see, we got some tomatoes. Some more tomatoes, a pile of green beans, and my beautiful wife hard at work.
See what he's done to me?
See, look at her sweating.
I'm gonna be working all weekend.
So, she's sanitizing jars, pressure canning, grid ties are running, that's what the noise is. But I've got her fans turned off and her music turned off, so we better get out of here before she starts throwing stuff at us because, you know, she's hot. But also, can you believe we had to go to like 5 different stores to find canning salt this year? People buying that stuff up like crazy. But the tomato freak is looking for some that he can steal. And the other one could care less, huh, Malls? Alright, so let's go outside and check out the garden. Okay guys, so first stop is our peach trees, which were loaded. I don't know if you guys can see that, but stupid deer have been jumping up and biting the limbs and ripping them off and shaking the tree and basically killing the tree to get the peaches. So they have stripped both these trees completely. There's nothing left. So we will be looking for his butt during deer season because I know which one's doing it. Alright, the new raspberries that we just put in this year gave us a little bit of fruit, but the second fruiting I think they're going to just relax for. As you can see, the blackberries are starting to fruit. I mean, that's sharp looking. It tastes good. Apollo's trying to taste test some. But they're coming on. We probably pulled about 4 quarts off those so far this year. Now, normally every year we get mini grapes, but this year we're getting some closer to full size, which is really good because my granddaughter absolutely loves eating these even though they're sour. Don't ask me why, she just loves them, but this year we're actually getting some good fruit on them. So we will be taking care of these and trimming these back this year in order to hopefully produce better next year. But yeah, the grapes are actually doing something this year. So if you look behind me here, our comfrey has gone absolutely nuts. I'm gonna make a video upcoming soon about how I make that into comfrey tea and chop drop method we use. But man, that stuff is producing like no tomorrow. So in the last garden tour, this was all peas. We have since chopped them off, pulled a bunch of the radishes and turnips we had planted at the bottom around them, and planted in pole beans. As you can see, they're starting to fill in with pole beans very slowly. But you know, they'll fill up good enough to get us another crop of beans, which will be great for filling up the racks inside in the pantry. So these are our Amish paste tomatoes we got from M.I. Gardener. Now, we're going to save seeds from these and plant them again next year. I think we'll have much better results. But as you can see, they're 6 foot tall. These are the ones I started indoors under my lights. But they are producing. And I really love the flavor of these tomatoes because you can slice these up and they're small enough we can put them on like sausages and stuff, or they go good in salads. And if you pick them, it only takes about a day for this to turn all the way red. But they have a kind of a hard, fleshier surface, so they're nice for sandwiches and stuff because they don't get all soggy and fall apart when you try and bite into them. I really like these, and I want to grow a lot more of them. And they get pretty good size, to be honest with you. They really do. Now the only problem I have is, you can see it down there, something's coming in here and eating them. I would guess it's the deer. This has been a bad year for wildlife, really tearing up garden. And we are actually debating on putting up some solar powered electric fence to try to back off some of what they're taking. But as you can see, these guys have just absolutely exploded. Even with a very dry year, they're doing great. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see him, but the bees are hard at work pollinating, and that's gonna give us raspberries. That's right, this is the original raspberry patch, and they are setting fruit and getting ready to rock and roll. Man, it tastes good. But all these will be berries, and it is just loaded up. Look, there's another one. Don't tell my granddaughter I took them. She'll get mad. She loves these things. But look at that. Another day, that'll be red. So this thing is where we pull from to plant as we expand. And then this year, I'm going to clean up this area and put a grove of raised beds in to move these two, because as you can see, it only took 1 year and it's full again. So we will be expanding this. I want to be able to put away about 50 to 80 quarts of raspberries a year in the future, and then we can eat them all winter long. So there's going to be a big expansion coming up this winter for these guys. Okay, now in the lower garden here, first thing I'm going to show you is our cucumbers, and they have been absolutely decimated. But looky here. Oh, let's pull weed. Look what I found. That's the first cucumber of the year that we've actually grown here on this property. We have others from other properties, but we have been getting decimated. Wildlife has been eating up our cucumbers so bad, it's just terrible. But it seems like they might be trying to pull a comeback, and I'm not going to complain, because they were literally eaten to the ground. I mean, there was nothing. You can see where they're still getting eaten. Stuff's coming in and eating all the leaves off of them. I mean, it's bad. So that's why I said we may end up having to put electric fence up. But coming over here, these were our wayward children's, what we call these. These were tomato plants that were donated to us that we just slapped in the ground. We really didn't do anything to them, and they just took off. I have loved where they are. They fought the heat for a while, but we've got a little bit of everything in here, from some Romas, from some standard canning, to some that have kind of cross-pollinated. Got some grape cherry tomatoes all through here that my granddaughter has been just picking and eating daily almost. So it's really provided a fun time for her to come in and grab these little beauties and just chomp them down. I mean, just perfect for her. And they're very, very sweet. So you've got this monstrosity of a mess. And this is our zucchini and squash. And it has been producing heavily. See, there's some summer squash in here. Some plants are behind others. But we have pulled probably 15 or 20 squashes and zucchinis out of here. There's another squash, summer squash already, and we're probably going to get a lot more, to be honest with you. I got to kind of check this, because every couple days, or we'll end up with gigantic ones hidden. It's like, here's one. I think we picked all the ones. Oh, there's one. There's one there. But they're all through here growing. And we just basically come out and check them every couple days. And you'll find one that's huge or just there, just ready to be picked. And bring it in and we eat it. We have another patch up in the other garden I'll show you, but they've really done well this year. I have zero complaints about them. And we have been working on a lot of new recipes to utilize for these and make them even better and healthy. So those of you that saw the video before where I dug this garden and planted all them bush beans in the burning heat, know that I put a lot of effort into it. And I'm gonna tell you, it broke my heart to come out here and a couple deer I'm sure, had just decimated this. They basically ate them to the ground. And it just broke my heart. And I was like, oh, and I was so defeated. And then we got like 5 days of heavy rain. And as soon as that rain came, all these perked up. So we have probably picked, I'm gonna say probably about a 5-gallon bucket's worth between these and a little patch we've got up in the enclosed garden. So they have really come back and come on strong for what had happened to them. They still are producing, they still have flowers on them, but they're still getting chomped. You know, the animals are still coming in and just chomping them to death. So for the situation we're in, with these being ate up so bad, I still think they're producing very, very well, especially for seed that we got for free. Alright guys, now inside the enclosed garden here, I'll start off by saying these 3 rows have cucumbers, but once again something got in here and just decimated it, just destroyed it. These ones here probably ain't gonna really produce much. They've got flowers, but I'm not looking for them to produce much. I have just an impromptu bean garden over here where I planted some beans, bush beans, but as you can see, the deer just jump in and eat it. They just jump the fence. That's why I said we're gonna have to do something. Now, I have picked from there and got a lot, so I can't complain. But then we come down here and we've got more zucchini planted. I don't think there's anything in here that needs picked anytime soon yet. Yeah, there's one that is not quite ready yet. Another one that's not quite ready yet. There's one that's getting closer. He's not quite there. But these will produce quite a bit more. These are younger, so they'll produce some more. Down there we have some onions in that row that still need to be pulled. This row I believe we've got them all out, but this has been the absolute dark horse in this whole gardening adventure. To explain better, this is the Katada Berry that my Aunt Carolyn gave us, and I believe she imported them from Oregon. It's kind of like a Blackberry hybrid. This thing just absolutely loves that rabbit poop we put down in that bed. We started these off, they were really rough, not doing well, and it has just exploded. So it gets a full load of fruit on. I mean, this thing was buckling at the seams. I was trimming limbs off just trying to lighten the work on the plant. And in jumped a deer that just thrashed the whole plant. I mean, it just destroyed the whole plant. So I came in and cut off everything that was dead and tried to save as much as I could. So what did it decide to do? It decided to start growing again. So it blew up again. Still pushing its onset of fruit, and now the berries are turning and they are amazing. They taste so good. They're a very sweet version of a blackberry. Whereas a blackberry is kind of a muted berry and has kind of just a standardized taste, these are very sweet. They're almost leaning towards bittersweet. So this thing has been producing, and we are just picking and picking every day. I'm out here chasing away the squirrels, the raccoons, the deer. Almost every night a deer comes in here and breaks another branch off. Yeah, I don't know. They just absolutely love these, and so do we. Trying to find that balance where nature can take its share and we get ours is kind of hard. So I'm getting ready to try to pot out these limbs into pots and basically clone out the plant, or take cuttings, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to try and make some more of these, and then on the outside of the fence here I'm going to start rows of them, and then hopefully nature will take its share and leave this share to us. But I'll get you a close-up look because this thing is still absolutely loaded. So I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but there's what we're looking at. And they're so good. But I mean, it is absolutely loaded, guys. And when I say loaded, it's actually bearing way more fruit than this plant should. And it's not just here. Look on the ground where the deers have thrashed it out. All that. I mean, look at the size of these bad boys. I gotta come out and pick tonight. Those are good round berries. I mean, they're not as big as our giants in the backyard along the fence, but they're definitely nice. And if we continue to walk around this plant and I continue to show you how loaded these things are, it's just crazy. I mean, I can just walk around and pick and pick and pick. But look at that, guys. Look at that. That's crazy. And you can see where I've had to cut it off because they keep jumping in here and tearing it up. I put fencing around it just to make the thing stand up. There's another one. I mean, look at that. So every night I come out here and I just kind of pick whatever I see and we throw them in the freezer, and it's just an amazing treat. But we're very blessed that Aunt Carolyn gave us this, and it has expanded and exploded, and we're going to try and keep it going and start some beds out here to get it all going and give nature their share. Maybe they'll leave this bad boy alone for a while. But my wife will want me to bring in a handful of these for her. I mean, look at that, guys. The size of that. Just a handful of them like it's nothing. So as you can see, the start to August for us has been great, and it's had a lot of highs and lows. We're hammering down, trying to get everything canned, trying to get everything frozen, packed away, keep the plants going. We got the compost pile we're turning over while we got this nice heat, keeping it moistened down, rolling it over as necessary, trying to just get everything on the homestead tied up before we start losing our ability to grow because of the cold. We are looking at doing some indoor growing. We got our LED lights, we have videos on that, working on our grow room, really just going on all cylinders and just really feel blessed for everything we have. I kind of want to see where we're going to be at because we're going to try to plant here in Ohio. We're going to try to plant this weekend because we're in the beginning of August and get another set of pole beans set and grown out before the first frost hits. So keep your fingers crossed that it's a late frost and we'll have another good harvest of more beans to put up, because in case you guys don't know, we actually supplement some of our dogs' food with green beans because they're low calorie, they're semi-healthy, and our dogs have a serious weight problem. So we try to grow an abundance of it, and then we freeze them, and then we pull them out and put it with our dogs' food to lighten them up because they're kind of plump. But we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming along with us. If you haven't already, take a moment, go down, hit that subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell. You know, join us on more videos. Always come back and check out what's going on because there's a lot going on. I'll be working on the comfrey video soon. I'll be working on the multi-stage pallet composter video soon. We also have to do the sifter video. Lots of big things coming up. Not to mention, I got to get down here and get this carport fixed up. So make sure you check us out, and we'll see you in the next one.